out there in internet land. This is Chuck Beatty. I'm back this week in the Electro-Roots workshop with another tutorial on how to use EzDrummer, EzKeys, Modo Bass, all within Mixcraft to get a cool groove going for your songwriting or production creative applications. So this week I was thinking I wanted to get something slow and funky, gritty sounding. And I was thinking of, back in the day, Steely Dan was the epitome of music back in the 70s and 80s when I was a young bass player around here in Pittsburgh. So I was searching through EzKeys and I found this groove under Shuffles for keyboard. It's just a MIDI pack they have. It's called Shuffles. Now these shuffles aren't your typical blues shuffles or swingy shuffles. These are a little bit more sophisticated and cooler. So anyway, in there I found this Babylon halftime verse that I dig. And so I think this is patterned after Babylon Sisters by Steely Dan. So let's check it out, see what it sounds like. Wow, that's cool sounding. So anyway, if you look at this though, the chords, you can see down here, A minor 9, B9, B minor 7 plus 5, then there's C sharp 7, add 11, no 5. So that's a little much for me. I know more chord theory than most of the yinzers around here in Pittsburgh. But I have no idea how you get that C sharp minor 7 off of that A minor and B minor, okay? So what I did was I replaced those chords with A minor, C, and D. I'm not going to show how I did that, how you type the chords in EzKeys. TuneTrack has a good tutorial on how to do that. It's real simple. So here's what I came up with for my own pattern in EzKeys. A minor, C, D, C, D, A minor, okay? To me, that's simpler harmonically, but still cool sounding. It's not too simple. When you get into a minor key, that's what gets you into some good stuff. So I want to add a drum part to that, okay? So I'm going to open up EzDrummer and have the basic Gretsch drum set out of the Southern Soul 60s. I can't recommend this enough. The Southern Soul 60s drum sounds are really cool, and I really like the basic Gretsch. And I found this part in here under Music City USA, Swing 4/4. And then you have these halftime parts, and I found this modern mainstream verse, okay? So this is under halftime, which is what I want. If you recall, that Babylon groove was halftime. So here we go. Here's how it sounds, just the drums. That is really good sounding to me. I know a lot of good drummers in Pittsburgh, but I just know with my skills and my microphones, I could never get that sound like that in my own studio. I just really prefer MIDI drums. So anyway, that's the drum groove I'm going to go with, and it's going to sound like this with the keyboards. Yeah. Wow. I'm digging this already. Yeah. Cool. So, if you remember last week, I used the drum part to establish the bass part, okay? The MIDI bass part. So this week I'm going to use the keyboard part to do the same thing. So I'm going to copy the keyboard part down to where I have the bass set up. Let's take a look at that. I got Modo Bass by IK Multimedia. I got it on the Motown sound. So that's a precision bass. I believe I have the amp turned off. Yeah, I just have a DI sound, and I'll tell you why. I don't want to use their amp in Modo Bass because I have another plug-in by IK Multimedia called Amplitude. And here I have a Motown sound in there, which is an Ampeg B15 amp over the matching Ampeg cabinet. I think that's what they used back in the day at Motown, and maybe even Steely Dan records. They used this setup. It was a standard in the studios back in the day, and I think people still use it. I know Americana bands still use this setup. So if you remember now, I copied the keyboard part down, and but it would sound like this on the bass instrument. I know some fancy bass players here in town that would think that was the way to go here, but I don't like it. I like a bass to be more supportive and simple with the drums to support the song. So what I'm going to do is edit that. If you remember last week, we edited the drum part to get the bass part by keeping the kick drum as the bass guitar part. Well, this week, here's the keyboard part, okay? So you see the chords, and then this would be the left hand of the keyboard down at the bottom here. So the first thing I got to do is erase all these upper chord parts so they're not in the bass, okay? In the bass guitar. So I take the eraser from Mixcraft, and I just start going and erasing all these parts, okay? All these notes, all these events. So I'm going to edit ahead, and here's what I'm left with. So let's listen just to the bass, okay? All right, so we have a problem. It sounds like I forgot to erase some stuff up top. I did. Let's grab those. But the problem I was talking about was that low A1 note isn't sounding. I have the bass set up so it's a 5-string, and the lowest note on a 5-string, I believe, is a B1. So that's why we weren't hearing this A1 note, but we were hearing this C2 and D2, okay? So it's real simple, and it's real fast. You just go up to the MIDI editing, you transpose it, just take it all up an octave. Now all the notes should sound, okay? Yep. A minor, C to D, okay? So let's dock that. Get the mixer back up here. So let's hear it all together now. I like it. It's laying just right. And I like the mix. Yeah. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my guitar and add a guitar part. Okay. So I'm going to edit ahead, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I got the guitar part laid down. I didn't want to bore you with that on the video. And for your information, I'm playing my Line 6 Variax JTV 59 in my modeling software here is Line 6 Helix Native, and I have a Glenn DeLon Robin Ford Clean preset. Glenn DeLon, look for him on the internet. He's got a lot of cool stuff for very reasonable cost to help you out if you're using Helix Native or even some other a whole bunch of other modelers. Glenn DeLon got some cool stuff. So anyway, here's the part all together with the guitar, okay? Yeah. Maybe I'll turn the guitar down a little bit. I'll pan it against the keyboard a little bit. Here's the guitar. I'm digging it. And you can, I'm sure you could, I could lay some melody over that, some words. I don't have any in mind now. But I might just go ahead and scat it out. Well, All right, well, I might edit that out. We'll see. So that's all I have this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Maybe spark some creative ideas of your own. And I really need you to subscribe, okay? I have almost 500 views on last week's video, and I really appreciate that. But I only have 32 subscribers. So I really need you to help me out. I enjoy doing this. I hope you enjoyed watching. But I really, really would appreciate it if you'd hit like and subscribe, okay? So please, please, please hit like and subscribe. And I'll be back next week. And I'm out.